Welcome back to our channel. Today we'll be exploring the fascinating history of the Latin Kings, a powerful and influential gang that emerged from the streets of Chicago. So let's delve into their story. The Latin Kings got their start in the Humboldt Park area of Chicago, Illinois, around the middle of the 20th century. At first, they were a social and community group called the Young Lords. It was made up of Puerto Rican teens who wanted to fight against social inequality and make their town a better place. But as time went on, the Young Lords broke up, and some of their members became the Latin Kings, another gang. Luis Felipe, who started the group, was a key part of making the Latin Kings the powerful force they became. Hispanic pride, culture, and symbols had a big impact on the Latin Kings. The lion was their sign, and their slogan was, "Love of the King." They set up a hierarchy with groups or tribes that were led by people who were called Inca. This system helped the Latin Kings stay together as a group and keep doing organized crime. During the 1970s and 1980s, the Latin Kings spread their influence outside of Chicago by starting chapters in other places, such as New York City. As they grew, so did their criminal actions, which mostly involved drug trafficking, theft, and acts of violence. But it's important to remember that not all Latin Kings members were involved in illegal actions. Some people joined the gang for safety, to feel like they belonged, or because of their economic situation. Over time, though, the gang got a bad name for being violent and breaking the law. In the 1990s, the Latin Kings had disagreements and power battles among themselves, which caused the group to break up even more. This led to the rise of different clans and independent groups, each of which claimed to be loyal to the Latin Kings, but worked on its own. Even though the Latin Kings had disagreements among themselves, they were still a big part of many towns. They kept adding new members and making their events bigger. But law enforcement agencies stepped up their work to break up the gang and stop their illegal activities. As the new century began, the Latin Kings had to deal with even bigger problems. Law enforcement made it harder for them to do illegal things, which led to a lot of arrests and charges. Also, neighborhood groups, teachers, and religious leaders started programs to try and keep young people from joining gangs. Even though the Latin Kings' criminal activities have made them famous and gotten them into trouble with the law, it is important to recognize that there are many things that lead people to join gangs, such as poverty, a lack of chances, and a need to feel like they belong. To break the cycle of gang violence, it is important to deal with these root reasons. In the past few years, some former members of the Latin Kings have become campaigners for change. They are now working for peace and trying to get others out of the cycle of violence. They are very important because they help and guide young people who might be at risk of joining gangs. It's important to keep in mind that the Latin Kings' past isn't just made up of crimes. There have been times when the gang did good things for the community, like organizing events, helping community members, and promoting national pride. Even though the Latin Kings still live in some way, they are not as important as they were when they were at their best. This decline has been caused by a mix of things, including the work of law enforcement, community efforts, and the choices of people. In our ongoing effort to make neighborhoods safer, it is important to deal with the real reasons why people join gangs. By focusing on education, job opportunities, mentoring, and community support, we can give young people positive options and a sense of hope. Thank you for coming with us as we learn about the past of the Latin Kings. We hope that this journey has shed some light on the difficulties and challenges that gangs and the communities in which they operate face. Remember that we can build a better future for everyone if we understand, care about, and work together. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our future content. As always, leave your thoughts and comments down below. Until next time, stay informed, stay safe, and take care.